Hello, Internet, and welcome to the free-to-play cast brought to you by MMOBomb.com, your home for all things free-to-play related. I am your host, magicman. Once again, I've got some friends with me. We've got some great games to talk about and your feedback to get to, so let's bring them on the line. Back for third time in a row, but then she's going on a little bit of a break. It's Demina. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Glad to be back again.
Yeah, you had your normal schedule and you filled in for somebody. You've been busy on the show the last couple of weeks.
I have, but it's been fun.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks though, you've been pretty bitter. Are you feeling happy today? Are you bitter or angry about something?
I'm feeling less bitter and more happy today.
Less bitter. More. Okay, good enough for me. On the line as well is Celsius. How are you, sir?
What's going on, Magic Man?
Oh, it's nice to hear your voice, man. It's good to have you back on a regular rotation now that real life started to settle down a little bit for you.
Right? We will leave an unnamed baseball team out. Thank God they did not make the playoffs, so I have a little bit more time on my hands to play a little bit of video gaming and
update
to enjoy
that
my
damn
time.
Twitter.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
All right, well, let's slide over. Let's get started. We've got some news. Here we go. Loadout, Edge of Reality. Okay, there's not really a whole lot to say about Loadout, is there? I mean, it's a Steam game. It's in beta right now. Celsius, you've played it. I've played it. Demina, you've watched me play it as well. You're not really into the whole shooter thing. But it's just a ton of fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely is. Especially the way they made the game. I'm rather impressed.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with it, kind of think. Let's try to draw some comparisons here, guys. Maybe a little bit of a Borderlands type art style, maybe. You know, not quite as cel shaded, but kind of leaning that way.
Okay, I could see that. It was I was leaning towards more maybe Team Fortress, maybe.
Oh, definitely from a gameplay standpoint, it's more like Team Fortress than anything.
Okay.
Crazy ass weapons. That's pretty much the draw behind the game, right? I mean, they've got the tons of weapons. Each slot on your weapon can hold different things. You can grab and mix and match and do whatever you want. Create ridiculous weapons where, you know, you're dropping chasers onto the ground. They run out in all directions and explode. It's just ridiculous the amount of customization the weapons have here.
I don't like shooters as a pretty standard rule, and I really don't like first-person shooters, mostly because I suck at them. This one's not first-person, so that's a plus.
In your book, yeah.
I can't wait to play this. I think it looks like so much fun, and I love all the weapon customization. That's awesome. Some of the things that I've seen were just, I don't know. It just looks like it would be a really, really good time to play with a couple friends.
Oh, definitely. And Celsius, you could kind of talk about this, too. The weapons, I mean, that's going to be the huge draw for this game, right?
That is the draw.
I mean, it's not doing anything particularly new customization-wise or gameplay-wise, but the weapons is where it's truly unique. You do what you want.
Exactly. I mean, you can mix and match however you want. You could have a rocket-firing shotgun that fires electricity, or a straight-up laser that fires fire. I mean, there's so many different ways of loading out your weapon. Like, I sort of chuckle when you guys keep saying weapons, like plural. It's just one weapon that you
just
can
one.
mod into anything you could possibly think of. If they did this in certain AAA things, certain first-person and third-person shooters, I think that would catch on. And I think it would give a little bit more balance, but that's also one of the other things I wanted to talk about the double-edged sword of how this game plays.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I mean, we can go into that, too, because with that much customization of your weapon, literally making the damn thing do whatever the hell you want it to do in any way, how, from a developer's side, do you keep the matches balanced? You know, is there one loadout that's the be-all, end-all, and there's no hope against it? Is there that type of scenario? And granted, we're still in beta, so we're still finding those types of loadouts where it's just like, okay, this is ridiculously overpowered.
Right.
Obviously, it makes it more complex to balance. Do you think you can ever really balance that type of system?
What scares me is whenever the cash shop gets introduced is I think it's pretty balanced right now from what I've played, but what scares me is that there will be an imbalance whenever the cash shop is fully initiated. That's what scares me.
That's something, Damina, you actually said this afternoon.
Well, yeah, I just I have to agree with Celsius here because right now, I mean, from what I've seen, it looks like fun. It looks like it's awesome to have all these options. I don't particularly want to pay for the options or I'll die.
Yeah, and one of the things that I'm concerned about a little bit here is right now, if you're playing in the beta, which we've had multiple rounds of beta key giveaways, we can't keep them in, and luckily Edge of Reality is being awesome about it and keeps sending us new batches to give out. We just put up another one today as of the recording of this show. So if you don't have a key yet, go and get it. You do have to get Steam if you don't have it right now, but is there really anybody that's never had a Steam account? I don't know at this point. And no, they're not for sale, by the way. Let me just throw that in there. Steam is not for sale. Never was. Sorry, NCSoft. Oh. Yeah, that's one of the things. Like right now, the loadouts and the modification and everything, you're not limited. You know, there's no certain number of things you can hold or do this or that. There's no limitations. And obviously, I think that after we get out of beta and into launch, there's going to have to be limitations, right? I mean, they can't just unlimited all the characters and expect to make money, right?
Right. That's the side I'm really scared about. Like, I understand that there, as always, I always say it, at the end of the day, it's all about making a dollar. But as balanced as it is and how it works right now, it works perfect the way it is. What scares me is once you put it in there, I have a feeling it's going to be one of those pay to win type deals where it's just like, all right, well,
right.
I'm willing to throw that extra couple bucks in to get that end all be all loadout that we were talking about.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. You play it in the beta, and you're like, okay, well, they're doing an awful lot of things right here. How the hell are they going to make some money?
Right?
Yeah.
You're like, I want them to launch it like this, but if they launched it like this, I would never spend a dime. Which is not exactly what Edge of Reality is looking for, I would imagine. So, thumbs up, thumbs down. I mean, mine is really easy. Loadout is a huge thumbs up. It's a ton of fun. You're going to have a blast picking and mixing and matching pieces for your weapon and just blowing shit away. It's a ton of fun. If you're not into like Team Fortress, those types of games, well, then Loadout isn't for you. But if you look at a first look video, we have one on the website, and you think, man, that looks kind of neat, it's definitely one that you need to get a key and try. I'm going to give it a huge thumbs up. What about you, Damina?
I'm going to give it a thumbs up, and I'm going to be curious to see what happens when they introduce their cash shop. I really hope that they continue on the path that they're on now. Maybe not entirely, of course, because as we said, there is money that needs to be made.
Oh, definitely.
But I'm going to hope that it doesn't become pay to win, because if it doesn't, and it stays a nice, free-to-play game, then it has the potential to be awesome.
Celsius, last word on Loadout goes to you. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
It definitely gets a thumbs up for me. Learning curve is not steep at all. Anyone can pick this game up. The games are fast and frantic. The loadouts, I mean, that's the only learning curve. The learning curve you're going to have is deciding what kind of loadout you want to run with all the time.
I agree, because there's way too many customization options. You're not going to find it right away. The one that you like the most. You're dead on, my friend, as always. So check out the first look over at the website. We've got that there. We've got the beta keys there if there's any left by the time this goes up. If not, hopefully we'll get another batch for you. Check out Loadout. We'd love to see you in-game there just to have some fun with the free-to-play cast hosts. What do we got next here? Oh, yes. This one's been brewing for a little while now. City of Heroes, NCSoft, Paragon Studios. A few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, I actually gave an A-bomb for City of Heroes being shut down and Paragon Studios pretty much being blindsided by the event. So now the situation just seems weird to me. So if you're not familiar with City of Heroes, it's a superhero MMORPG. Pretty much paved the way for a lot of the superhero games you play now. Selfius, why don't you take us through it? I mean, out of the three of us, you played this one the most. So give our listeners that maybe haven't checked City of Heroes out a little overview what the game's about.
City of Heroes was exactly what I expected it to be when that game first came out. It was the first and only opportunity for you to play an MMO in which you could take over some kind of superhero through your own creation. They gave you a huge palette of colors and different customizations to throw something together. And then, anybody who's played DCUO, I'm trying to think anything else that's even remotely close to these. I mean, this game obviously paved the way for that game. As of the other game that I'm looking forward to, Marvel Heroes, coming up soon, but it's more Diablo. It wasn't a bad game from when it first came out. It was very vanilla WoW when it first came out. But as it grew, I believe was it Cryptic that originally had it? I believe it was Cryptic Studios, I want to say, is who originally had City of Heroes.
I'll look it up while you chat.
There you go. I'm trying to think of how I can put this. I mean, it was pretty much the closest thing you could get to WoW that wasn't WoW at the time. Like, if you didn't want to do the whole fantasy goblins and elves and all that, you could make yourself a character. And then once they came out with the flip side with City of Villains, that really did it for me, because it gave you the chance to either be a hero or a villain. And I think they did it proper. I feel that this game has ran its course. Unfortunately, it's coming to an end. But it was fun.
City of Heroes was indeed Cryptic, sold to NC Soft in November of 2007.
Wow, that long ago.
Yeah, Cryptic signed the publishing deal. Launched on April 28th, 2004, and then October in 2005, City of Villains launched. And then they linked those two games with the PvP, obviously.
Which was awesome. The fact that they linked those two and then did that, it was just like it was like putting two pieces of the puzzle together. It just fit right, and it played right too at the time.
Yeah. So here's the deal: City of Heroes is shutting down. NC Soft is doing away with it. In late 2011, the game went free to play. A few months ago, NC Soft, out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere, decided it's the end for City of Heroes and for Paragon Studios, the team behind it, who it seemed like didn't know it was coming, right? I mean, they even had a pack ready to go and launched it, and then immediately had to yank it from the stores.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty clear indicator that, developing. Oh, crap.
Hey, we're just making the... Wait, what do you mean I'm fired? And obviously we make light of it a little bit, but unfortunately people lose jobs here in this situation, and we never want to see that. We want to see these teams that are obviously very talented get picked up other places. Mm-hmm. So when this announcement goes through, City of Heroes fans are in an uproar, right? And I got to spend some time talking to a number of the leaders or the members of a group that was calling themselves Save COH. Who had put up online petitions, had done all kinds of various things to create some City of Heroes awareness to try to save the game, right? That's what you do, right?
Makes sense.
When your game is going to be shut down, you try to save it. They did it with Star Wars Galaxies. It's done with every game. No matter how small the community may be, those people are going to try to fight to keep their game on. Okay, so it's nothing none of us wouldn't have done. They even had... a fundraising thing, like a Kickstarter type thing, where they raised $1,000 to send the Paragon Studios team dinner.
That's
just a super cool community. And I never really got into City of Heroes all that much, and I even told the people that I was talking to from Save COH, I didn't play this all that much at the time. I really wasn't into MMOs. I played them, but I wasn't into really jumping around and checking out other MMOs. So it's interesting to watch other people play this and be passionate about it. And watching it today, it's like, man, I should have played this. You know, do either of you get that feeling? Celsius, you played it, but Damina, do you watch it and see, you're like, man, I probably should have given this a whirl.
Sometimes I feel like that about things that I discounted, which is why I've tried recently to at least give everything a shot. You know, even if I think I'm not going to like it, I give it a shot, but I definitely feel like I might have missed something here.
Yeah, and you were kind of upset by the last piece of this news because Save COH was really trying to just get NCSoft to do what they felt would put NCSoft in a good light, right? Sell the game to somebody else that's willing to support it if you're not, or do something with it so that the game doesn't die, people can still play it. And looking at it from NCSoft's side, revenue last year versus revenue this year on City of Heroes, there was an increase, right? They did make more money this year than they made on last year. I think from NCSoft's side, though, is that the free-to-play conversion late in 2011 didn't really translate to the revenue increase they thought they were going to get. They did get an increase year over year, but my take on it, it's simply my speculation, is that they expected a lot more by going free-to-play, and they didn't get it, so therefore, you know what, hey, we're just going to shut this down. We've got other projects, Guild Wars 2, that we could throw the support at. So here's the last piece of this one, and I want to get your two takes on this, Celsius and Damina. Save COH, trying to save their game. Same thing all of us would do. Shown tremendous community support. NCSoft issues a response. Finally. I mean, this was a long time coming. NCSoft should have said something earlier, in my opinion. And here's their response. I'm going to read it to you in its entirety because it's a paragraph. City of Heroes players and fans, we wanted to let you know that your voices have been heard and your concerns have been taken into serious consideration. We appreciate the overwhelmingly constructive and positive messages in the emails, notes, and packages you've sent in support of the game. It has not been an easy decision for us to close Paragon Studios and prepare to shut down City of Heroes. We've exhausted all options, including the selling of the studio and the rights to the City of Heroes intellectual property. But in the end, efforts to do so were not successful. City of Heroes has a special place in all of our hearts, and we want to ensure its reputation and the memories we share for the game end on a high note. Once again, we will be holding events throughout the process of preparing for the game's end, and we encourage players and fans of the franchise to join forces and enjoy their time in a game that we've enjoyed supporting for more than 8 years. The NCSoft team. So on one side of this, you have the business side, guys, right? A game is always going to shut down at some point, right?
Absolutely.
It's inevitable. It's going to happen. At some point, the cost of running it does not validate the amount of revenue that you're making on it, and so you shut it down. I mean, years from now, at some point, World of Warcraft will do the same thing. Every single MMO is going to shut down at some point. But this one just seems weird to me. This kind of rings like Sony Online shutting down Star Wars Galaxies and not really giving you a reason why. You knew why. It was because the Old Republic was coming out. But they never came out and said anything like that. This one seems even more bizarre to me. What's your take on this one, Damina?
So, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, and we were saying, you know, why bother keeping your license? If you have an option to sell, and I mean, I realize they say that, you know, we've exhausted our options. We tried to sell Paragon Studios and the rights to this game. I think that's a cop-out. I don't necessarily, I mean, if you don't have plans for it, then why wouldn't you sell your licensing rights? So
yeah, I can see that, but you know, if you're not planning to do anything with it, then $10 is better than zero, right?
Exactly.
sell
That's
the
what I'm
license
saying.
and get something for it rather than shutting it down and getting zero. But
Absolutely.
I would pose these two questions to you then. Does that A mean that there, well, this one question with two options for you. Does that A mean that there were no buyers interested in City of Heroes? Or does it B mean that NCSoft is maybe planning something in the future with this IP property and wants to hang on to it? Which do you think it would be?
I tend to think that they've got something planned in the future. I mean, and this is obviously just my opinion, but just thinking about it from a business standpoint alone, we were just saying that some money is better than no money, and obviously in this type of situation, we aren't legitimately talking $10, but this game's got a following. This game's got a stellar community. I mean, you want a good community, this game has got it. They are stand-up people. And so if you have no plans for it, and you've shut down your studio, presumably because you need money to put into another project that you've got running, then why wouldn't you get rid of it if you didn't have plans for it? So in my opinion, I don't know that they have anything specific planned, but I think they like what has happened with City of Heroes, and maybe they have intentions to bring back something, make something new with the same ideas in the future.
Or they just want to retain the ability to do so.
Exactly.
What about you, Celsius? What's your take on this whole thing? And how do you feel about this message, this kind of one paragraph sent out to people that have been busting their asses for a month trying to get some type of response from NCSoft?
Yeah, I call shenanigans on this. A is you don't have developers come out with a new expansion / update and then all of a sudden say, oops, like obviously you knew somewhere down the line either A, you were going to keep it open, or B, you were going to close it. As far as the whole going down the exhausting every path, I don't believe that. I'm right along with Damina and you, where it's, hey, $10 is better than no bucks. It's either they're going to hold on to the IP. To me, I mean, if they have such a driven community, and just from what I remember, why not they do what Valve did, release the source and let the mods take the game over, and then you can hold on to the IP and do whatever you need to do. The game continues to live. You just got to put a server up for it. I mean, there's numerous different ways of going about it. I mean, there's, like you said, they could be holding on to the IP because they have different ideas later. But unfortunately, to touch back on what Damina had said, and even you with not playing it, is yes, this game was great, but I think it ran its course. It's a little dated now, but it was enjoyable at the time, and it laid the groundwork for hopefully many good like role playing games of that genre to come.
So you're okay with it being shut down, but not necessarily the way NCSoft has gone about it.
Right. I don't mind you shutting it down. I understand the game has ran its course. You've spun it off from City of Heroes to City of Villains, and there was another spin-off that I can't remember the name of it.
Champions Online.
That's it, the Champions Online, where there was numerous ways of. I truthfully believe they know they have something in this IP and they don't want to let it go. And at the same time, by them giving this last response, they also don't want to burn the bridges of the people that love NCSoft that still play some of their games. So you know what I mean? It's sort of damage control, and it's sort of lip service.
I don't know. Go ahead, Damina.
I don't even think that they did proper damage control here, because honestly, if I put my time, my money, my effort, whatever, into, save COH and, I've bought developers dinner, even if I only donated $1 to that, whatever. Reading their response, I just got we heard you, but we don't care. I got a brush off. That's what I got. So you're not preserving my love.
Yeah, I kind of have mixed feelings about this one, because, I mean, I'm a huge NCSoft guy. And I've said this exactly the same way on more than one show before. I like NCSoft products. I question a lot of the business decisions NCSoft as a company makes. And I've said that more than once on the show. I'm a big fan of NCSoft's products, but I've dished out A-bombs galore to NCSoft for different decisions they've made, for various things. I have to disagree with you, Selfies. I don't think City of Heroes has run its course. I think there are easily still a few years left in this 8-year-old, 9-year-old beast, because of the way Paragon Studios has consistently updated things. When you look at somebody playing City of Heroes now, and you look at the graphics and you look at the gameplay, yes, there are tinges of, oh, that's a little bit of an older mechanic, but you don't get the feeling of like when you boot up the original EverQuest, which is 13 years old, and you're like, oh my god, this is really old, this is going to take me a few minutes to get used to playing again. You don't get that feel with City of Heroes. I think the game itself could have gone on for a few more years. I think the audience, the player base, is big enough to warrant going on for a few more years. I think from NCSoft's side, that player base, not as many of them spent money in the cash up as they thought. They were disappointed with those results and shut it down. I don't think City of Heroes should be closing yet. I think NCSoft should keep this one open. If they're not going to keep it open, I think they should have sold the rights. By saying that they're not selling the rights, or that we've exhausted all options, including selling of the studio and the rights to the City of Heroes IP, by admitting that or saying that you've attempted both of those, you're telling the audience one of two things. Either there's no buyers, and get the hell out of here, Nexon would pick this shit up in a heartbeat. They'd ruin it. Wait, did I say that?
Whoops.
Whoops. They'd probably ruin it, but they'd pick it up in a heartbeat. I'm sorry, I don't even play this game, and I'm getting passionate about this. Or you're saying, we like the idea of having this in our back pocket to maybe do something with in the future. I don't know. I disagree with NCSoft. I don't think this one's been free to play long enough to make a true financial decision there. I think there could even be something else going on that they haven't publicly said. I don't know what that would be. I'm not even going to speculate. But it just seems very weird, the whole chain of events on this one. And I've stunned the crowd into silence.
I think NCSoft owed their fans a better explanation. That's all I'm saying.
To me, this one paragraph thing's pretty much a middle finger.
Yep.
Jeez. I don't even play the damn game. Can you imagine somebody that plays the game and absolutely doesn't want it to end, how they're feeling? I mean, I just follow this, this whole news story because I'm interested, and that's what I do. I follow these things even if I don't intend to talk about them on the free-to-play cast, because I get people that ask me, what's your opinion on this? So I follow things. And as I follow this, it's driving me nuts. This makes no sense. It made money, not as much as you thought. Okay, is that a player problem, or is that there's something wrong with our cash shop? Fix that problem. Maybe make things a little bit cheaper and increase sales, or change what you're doing. It hasn't been free to play, in my opinion. It hasn't been free to play for even a year yet, and it's being shut down. So, I don't know. It sucks for City of Heroes fans. Save COH doing everything they can to try and keep it up and running in some form, and we wish them luck. And certainly we wish the employees of Paragon Studios all the luck in the world moving on to new and hopefully better projects. I give this one a thumbs down, big time. I love NCSoft products. Sometimes I hate the way they do some things, and this is definitely one that's a thumbs down from me. Celsius?
I'm on the fence only because I haven't touched the game in a while, and I want a little bit more information. I do want to know what Endgame is with this IP. Right now, I have mixed emotions. It's been rather a long time since I've touched the game. I did enjoy it when I did. I need a little bit more information, so I'm going to be on the fence on this one.
Damina.
Oh, big time thumbs down. And I have to say, as far as the IP is concerned, I mean, a simple, hey, listen, we're planning to hang on to this because we're not positive, but maybe we want to develop, in the future, because we see this as something you really like, is way better than the one paragraph blow off that these fans just got.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you. Even if, you're not ready to release any information because you're not even planning anything right now.
Well, that's what I just said.
At least, yeah, I'm that's why I said I agree with you, damn it. I agree with you. Even just telling them, hey, look, you guys are so passionate about this. We think maybe there might be something we might want to look at doing in the future with this. We're not sure yet. So, guys, right now we're not willing to sell the IP. I don't know about you, but as a player, I'd be more willing to go, okay, well, at least I can understand that.
Yep.
You're not making the money you wanted to right now. You don't want to sell it because you're thinking maybe you can do something with it in the future, maybe a different game, a different whatever. As a gamer, I can sit back and go, well, at least I don't have to like it, but that makes business sense, right?
Right. Absolutely.
City of Heroes. Love you guys. City of Heroes players, you rock. You're all awesome. All the emails you've been sending me, they're just nothing but absolute praise. Love you guys. Enjoy your last couple of months there. Last news story. We're going to cover this one quick because there's not a whole lot on this. A lot of people have been talking about the Oculus Rift lately by Oculus VR. So if you don't know what this is, Damina, tell us a little bit about it. What the hell does this thing do?
So it's a like a headset kind of that you put on. It's a virtual reality headset for gaming. But whereas prior to this development, you were able to see a screen, or it wasn't, quite as 360, quite as there are a lot of dimensions to this. It's supposed to be like really being in the game, but aren't they all? But this one looks really this one, well, but
what a concept, virtual reality.
They show the angles and such that they have. This camera movement is supposed to really be true to your movements. It looks really interesting. I want to see what it can actually do. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time you see this, Celsius. The first time you look at it, you're just like, oh, great, it's another big thing to put on my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It looks like a big, oversized set of ski goggles.
Yeah, and I just have shades of the Virtual Boy.
I think it looks like, remember those like click and find things that you would put the little round circle in?
Oh, viewfinder.
Yeah,
viewfinder. we're all aging ourselves right now.
I think it's a little bit more high tech than a viewfinder.
But it looks like that.
Yeah, so what they're doing here with this bad boy is they're creating a wider, as Damina said, a wider field of vision. And what did you say, Damina? It was more responsive as far as you looking left, right, up, and down, more real-time response to kind of put the player in the game that they're playing. And why are we talking about this? Well, because obviously it's not free. It's not even out yet. If you want to pre-order a dev kit, you can. There's a Kickstarter going on for it. And you can do it right on Oculus VR's site. The dev kit is $300 United States. So that ought to tell you that we're probably in trouble dollar-wise here. Because that's one of the prohibitive things with the whole VR scene, right, is the cost. And that's what Oculus VR is talking about. They're trying to do some things where, the common gamer would be able to buy these. Well, we'll see. I mean, the dev kit's $300. So why are we talking about it? Well, there's this game we've talked about before, Celsius, Hawken, coming out in December, that's going to support this.
Right out of the box, too, which is impressive.
Well, I think it's actually weird.
Weird?
Yeah, being that Hawken launches in December and the Oculus is slated for sometime in 2013.
I think they're hinting at something. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think it's just weird. That it's a weird announcement that says, hey, we're going to support this functionality. We launch in December. We're going to be ready to go when the Oculus itself doesn't come out till 2013. I don't know. It could be something weird there. But, I mean, Hawken, that's definitely the type of game that you would want to try this on, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Or a Mech Warrior Online even, something where you have to be able to rotate and view all sides of you, and it would feel like you're in a machine rotating, and the limited field of vision makes sense.
Right.
You're in a damn machine. So that sounds kind of cool. The video looks cool, I'll give them that. but it's just every VR thing I've ever seen that was going to be the next VR thing has just been a colossal failure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think anything that actually really took off other than the closest thing that you brought on, which was just an absolute hideous red and black mess.
The Virtual Boy. And I don't even think that was that labeled? Yeah, it was labeled as virtual reality.
Yes, it was.
I thought it was just, I was thinking 3D, but no, that was labeled virtual reality. So it's neat. It's definitely one of those things that gamers look at and we go, man, that's kind of cool. I can't wait. I want to try it out. And Damien, I think you said it best this afternoon that you were like, cool video, but...
Yeah, I want to know. I want to see what it can actually do, and I don't want to have to spend $300 to do that. So I hope they come out with some better, options.
Yeah, well, to your point, it's definitely something that you're going to want to be able to use before you have to buy, right?
Absolutely. So they better have something set up somewhere so I can try it.
Yeah, you're not going to take a $200 flyer, or I don't know how much they're planning to sell this thing for, $100, $400, it really doesn't matter. You're not going to take a couple $100 flyer and just hope it does everything they say in the video, right, Celsius?
Yeah, I agree. And on the other side of that is supposedly what I think I read is that it's supposed to be compatible with the Doom collection that's coming out, which is not a first-person thing. Well, I mean, it's a first-person in the later ones. And
right.
Some of the, but I mean, you know what I'm talking about, where you're not going to be in a cockpit. You're going to be actually as a person.
Yeah,
so
they've already got Doom support too.
So I'd like to see how that works. Whether if you actually look down towards yourself and see an actual player. You know what I'm talking about? Like to look away from the screen to see, like, look down and be like, oh, okay, I'm fully dressed in combat fatigues or
look down
the Space
and see
Marine.
Your boots.
Yeah, Space Marine gear or whatever it is. So it's all about how they implement it. I'm sure as technology has gotten smaller and cheaper, I'm sure that they'll pull this off. How well? I'm right along with Damina. I don't want to drop $300, $400, or $500 just to see how this works.
Yeah, it's definitely they got to figure out a way to sell it to people without getting their hands on it. That's going to be the biggest problem.
Yep.
Is trying to find a way to market this to people. I mean, it's all well and good to show us videos, but because of the very nature of what you're marketing here, people got to be able to try it before they're going to plunk out the money for this. So it looks like, though, this coupled with something else, Hawken is becoming the most expensive free-to-play game ever, right? Because you've got Oculus Rift support, and figured we'd throw this in here too while we're talking about Hawken and peripherals. You've got the Hawken controller, the Mech Fu,
which looks badass, by the way.
Yes, it does.
Or as I like to call it, the Mech FU.
Jeez.
Because if I'm in Hawken, I'm riding my mech. F you. Looks dual joystick, huge keypad. I mean, you guys just have to come over to MMO Bomb or Google or wherever. Just go get a picture of this thing. Big dual joysticks to control the mech. Keyboard, all kinds of knobs and twisty buttons and displays. And there's even a dock for your phone. A little stand for your tablet so that you can utilize it for that. It's USB. It's got the USB jacks for your phone. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And we don't have any pricing for that either, but most people are estimating about $200 to $250 USD for that. So if you want to play Hawken the way it was meant to be played by the developers... You better start saving up now, huh, Celsius?
I got 600 bones to try out a free-to-play game. I don't know about you.
Who doesn't?
Right? I'm balling out of control over here. No, I'm actually lying. I'm balling on a budget, but
So the Mech Fu controller is also fully customizable. You can program everything to work with other things. As well. So it's not just Hawken, but they were playing Hawken at E3 with this thing when they did their demos of it. So Hawken definitely one to keep your eye on. If you're not watching it yet, get ready for launch, and then go ahead and get your Mech FU or Mech-Fu, as they actually call it. Go ahead and get your Oculus Rift, and there's no need to see the sun again.
Right?
Just figure out a way to get some Hot Pockets in there, and you're fine. I'm such a sucker for gadgets. Anybody have Steel Battalion for the old Xbox?
I wish. I didn't have the money at the time.
Anybody that remembers that one? Yep, that's kind of what we got going on for Hawken now. So it'll be interesting. Anyway, in the meantime, guys, while you're waiting for Hawken and saving up some money for your Hawken gadgets, head on over to mmobomb.com. Right now we've got information there about Marvel Heroes and the closed beta beginning.
Ooh, time for them to start impressing me.
There you go. You and Celsius. And then obviously we've got some loadout beta keys there, and we've had a couple different waves of that. Let's slide over and do the weekly bombs. I'm going to go first because mine's real easy. Big to bomb this week. Felicia Day. Love her. Big fan. The Guild started Season 6 this week. Fantastic. Episode 2 will be up by the time this show goes up. If you've never seen The Guild, go over to their YouTube page, Geek and Sundry, and you can check out all their content there, including the Guild Seasons 1 through 5 and the first couple of episodes of 6. Never met Felicia. I've seen her interviews. She seems like a really down-to-earth person, and the cast of the Guild is just awesome. I'm a big fan of the show. Everybody always asks on the forums or in the email, what our favorite YouTube personalities are. Mine is hands down Felicia Day and the whole team over at Geek and Sundry. So check out the Guild. Let's go to you, Celsius.
I don't know whether I'm giving myself an A-bomb or if I'm actually giving High Res Studios an A-bomb, because I'm confused about something.
All right. Talk to Dr. Magic Man.
Now, I love me some Global Agenda. Don't get me wrong. And when I found out that Global Agenda 2 is coming out, I was ecstatic.
Right.
But why would High Res go and change what wasn't broken, especially since you already have Tribes out? They're going to take Global Agenda and turn it into PvP.
Is it strictly PvP?
Not that I understand. I mean, it's pretty. From what I read, it's pretty PvP centric.
Wow.
And from what I remember playing originally, it was pretty much co-op where you could play along with other people. And now
Global Agenda had the whole co-op mission thing going. I thought that was, honestly, because I'm not a big PvP guy, I thought that was the best part of the game.
So now I'm scratching my head because now they're coming out with GA2, and I feel like I'm playing Tribes. I don't know.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. They're going to have two PvP-centric games all in like a futuristic type thing.
So I don't know if I'm giving them an A-bomb or giving myself an A-bomb for being confused. Hopefully someone can help me out.
Just give it to them. Give it to them.
Okay, all right. High Res Studios.
It's never your fault, Celsius.
I'm sorry, guys, but I have to give you an A-bomb.
What about you, Damina?
So I'm giving a da bomb this week.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm giving a da bomb to the Save COH group. I have to say that I'm just so impressed with what a upstanding community they seem to be as a whole. And to be honest, if I were a game developer, they are the people I would want in my community. So I'm giving them a da bomb because they're awesome, and I wish them a lot of luck on their quest to save their game. And so I hope they find a new home.
Cool.
I'm actually hoping some of the viewers put in the comments as to where their new home is going to be. I'd like to know what kind of transition they're going to make.
Yeah, what are you going to play?
Since they're losing their like when we lost our game, we were like, I still think I'm sort of like a nomad when it comes to games. You know a game I love and would definitely go back to if they made an HD version. But
yep, talked about it on Ask MMO Bomb episode 2.
Definitely did. But I would definitely like to know where everybody migrates to.
City of Heroes fans, put it in the comments below. Let us know, where are you guys headed now? Are you headed to another superhero MMORPG? Are you done with them? Are you playing something offline? Let us know, where are you going? From the viewers, Dreams of the Morrow says, da-bomb for Aeon for being truly free to play. Wonder why not a lot of people are not noticing it more. A-bomb for MMOs, hardly having an illusion magic type class. I've gone through Guild Wars 1 and 2, Mesmer, Alid's Size, Eden Eternals, some DCUO, and a few others. We need a game that's not afraid to introduce something new, class, or put it in something out of the ordinary, hardly used. Cough, illusionist, class, cough, cough. I enjoy something out of the ordinary. It allows me to really learn my class. PvP freak. Dreams of the morrow. PvP freakness to the max. I agree with the dub bomb. Aeon. Love it.
Right?
Love it.
Thumb up here.
Just updated the top 10 MMORPGs on the MMO bomb site.
I have to check that out.
Wonder what number 1 is.
Did you have something to do with that?
Actually, we did them really intelligently. We took all the editors' feedback from the site, and we had everybody create top 10 lists, and then we meshed them together based on where people rank certain things to determine where they would rank on the master list.
That's a good idea.
Yep, so go check it out. Editors' points of views only. It's just our personal recommendations. It's by no means representing every game that's out there, but I love Aeon. Wonder where it fell on the list. Let's see. From Revolt. Hello, cool guys from MMO Bomb. It's Revolt from Croatia. I've talked with magicman in his first look of City of Steam. Oh, that's right. I met Revolt in-game. Asked him what he thought about some different things and even mentioned them in the first look. I'm really glad that he included me in the video, and that's something a lot of casters wouldn't do. I really appreciate it. That's one of the main things I like about you guys. You're so friendly, and you really care about your viewers. You include our opinions and our thoughts, and care about an average viewer. So a huge da-bomb for you guys. Well, thank you! That's super nice. Well, Celsius really isn't nice, is he?
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't even take that, because as soon as it said, hello, cool guys from MMO Bomb, I was like, oh, well, I guess they must be talking about the other hosts.
Clearly.
Clearly.
My the bomb for this week is also going to be for a game. It's Alid's Online. Played the beta. It was really fun and awesome, but when the game launched, it was very grindy and pay to win, actually. I've tried it again 2 weeks ago for no particular reason. It's just awesome. The experience rate isn't that slow anymore, and you can get almost every item now by playing the game, not just buying it in the item shop. Keep up the good work, guys. Really love watching your shows. There's just one thing that bothers me about it. One show per week is just not enough. Revolt. Yeah, one show per week is more than enough. These aren't exactly the easiest things to do when it's not your day job, you know? To do this type of content, and especially to have some great friends that are, you know, willing to do it for nothing too. It's definitely my pleasure to get to do this with friends and family of mine that just love gaming and don't mind talking about it. So thank you to you two. That's you, Celsius and Domina.
As I say, if we were doing a live show, you could see my head shaking or hear the rocks rattling right now.
Right. Yeah, Alid's with the whole new server and the experience rate on it for brand new characters. They definitely keep making changes there. It's still one of my top MMOs. I don't think it's number 1, though. You'll have to go to the top 10 list and find out.
He makes a good point there, though, because maybe sometimes if you don't really enjoy something right when it first comes out, you don't like the way it's going, but you like the concept, give it another shot. Just wait a little while.
Yeah, Star Wars The Old Republic.
Jeez. You stepped in something there, Magic Man.
I'm still not going back. Let's see. What's next there? Why don't you take this next one, Domina?
Okay. So Flappers says, "Hey, Magic Man. Great show as per usual, and I would totally pay $9.99 for access to speak on the show, as long as we're not testing anything."
My man.
Hey.
My man.
Who doesn't like paying $9.99 for testing?
Don't get Domina started. Oh, God, don't get Domina started.
No, that's it. I'm done with selfies.
No, keep reading. Keep reading.
My bomb is a dub bomb, and it goes to Edge of Reality for Loadout. I know you briefly mentioned in the last episode as your dub bomb, but I feel I have to expand. Although the developers don't really have a track record for PC gaming, they are showing real promise with Loadout. It's a really fun game with amazing customization options, even in its current stage. The developers themselves interact with the community on a daily basis and for once actually listen to the feedback and make changes accordingly. This is such a rare thing to see in betas nowadays, as you mentioned with Raiders. It's just one example where things just don't change. But they are actively responding to almost all threads on the forums and are fixing bugs and making changes where changes are needed. Also, in its current state with few testers, you never know when you are actually in a game with a developer, and that is always great to see. So bomb to them, and they are doing a fantastic job with their game and their community interaction, which I hope they keep up post-release too. Thanks for the show. I'm looking forward to the 1-year birthday. Regards, Flappers.
Couldn't have said it better.
Sounds like this is a beta that's being done right.
Yeah. And we didn't have to pay to get in. Next up, Zamfir Walt says a big A-bomb to Snail Games for its announcement of being able to pay for packages to get into the age of Wushu closed betas. Damina, just close your ears here for a minute. Why should anyone have to pay for an incomplete game? Furthermore, an incomplete free-to-play game. It's ridiculous that free-to-play companies not only have outrageous cash shop items that pretty much force you to pay for stuff. However, now these companies now have a new way to get their kicks by charging money to a game that's not even finished. Yes, Perfect World Entertainment, I'm thinking about you as well. Zamfir, we agree. See our previous 2 shows.
Yep.
M. Pascal says, I don't know. Since Guild Wars 2 launch, I haven't paid much attention to free-to-play news, but one that really got my attention was the announcement of Black Desert Online. The game looks good, so my bomb goes to Black Desert Online. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly. Yes, you are. You totally did it correctly. Bomb for something great, A-bomb for something bad. So last week, Selfies, we didn't have a question of the week, so we just pulled some questions from the viewers, and we're going to take those right now. Why don't you start with that first one?
Okay. Messiah has sent a question. It says, I have a question to all the MMO Bomb cast and people here on the comments. Considering the fact that by nature, MMOs are constantly being updated with updates or bug fixes, regardless of the nature of the game, pay to play, buy to play, free to play, until the moment they are shut down. Unlike other genre or genes of the game that were
that says genres, you're right.
Genre, yeah. I like other genres of games which get a few download content when they're done. Can you really consider an MMO to ever have a finished product? Okay, Messiah, it's an interesting question.
Well, and it makes sense because we talked about, paying for beta, paying for an incomplete game. So then I guess the counter argument is what Messiah is saying, is an MMO ever a completed game?
I don't believe so. I think Endgame is ever expanding.
So here's my take on this one, okay? As far as our whole last few shows aspect of things, yes, there is a finished product that is made for release date. However, a well-done MMO should always be evolving from that point. So you're evolving from your finished product towards better.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go kind of like in the middle of both of you for Messiah here. I don't think the game is ever finished unless it's City of Heroes.
Oh.
Ouch.
Too soon.
Even then it wasn't finished. The developers were releasing an update.
Right?
But, go ahead.
Right? So, unless the game is shutting down a la Star Wars Galaxy City of Heroes, the game's never really finished. It just keeps going. But I don't define a game constantly evolving as a finished product. By finished product, I mean, Star Wars The Old Republic, when it launched, was not a finished product. And you would find very few people that would disagree with that statement, right? Even if they absolutely love the game, they're at least willing to admit that it was not a finished product when it launched. And many of the items that weren't finished were items that should have been finished. Yes, there are things that they can add in a patch or do things down the road, but they were core functionality pieces that should have been in the game before it launched. So I actually think, yes, you can have a finished product if you're talking about headed towards release date, like Domina said. After that, yeah, they're never really going to have a finished product. The game should constantly be evolving. Good question. Mike Studios 08 says, not a bad idea with the botting. We talked about Jagex and RuneScape and their new anti-botting campaign. But this may simply create bot races among players to see how many resources they can get before their bot is exterminated. I think, Domina, you said something similar, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did, absolutely. So I agree with you, Mike Studios 08.
Inflictious says, Magic Man, hosts, or community? A question I've already asked Brim and got his answer. We'll start with Domina on this one. Is RuneScape free to play or pay to play? Please explain why you choose your response. For weeks now, ever since the subs are dead have been brought up, why has not one person mentioned this game from 2001 ever been brought up with the price jump from $5 to $8 a month for content after level 60 and quests pre-level 60 never been mentioned? Don't say RuneScape sucks. We all have our opinions, and truthfully, this game's not for me, but it is probably has as many subscribers as WoW does. As from Inflictious. What do you think, Domina? RuneScape free to play or not?
I don't know an awful lot about RuneScape, to be honest with you, but if what I'm reading here is correct, and they made a price jump for you to buy your content after level 60, so they're charging more money for their endgame?
Well, to be fair, Inflictious, I think you have a couple of your numbers wrong here. The price did jump from a little over $5 to about $8 per month USD. I don't think you have the level cap right anymore. I think that's been changed. I think you can get skills to 99 now in RuneScape without paying the fee. But yes, there's certain limitations, such as the type that Inflictious brings up here. I just think he has some of the numbers wrong, but the overall idea is correct.
That's pay to play, 100%.
Okay. What about you, Celsius?
All right. Now, it's been a while since I touched RuneScape. RuneScape is a game that sort of looks like Chrono Trigger, correct?
Not really.
Not right now. I can't truly on it. I mean, I know of RuneScape.
Well, that's cool.
Forever.
If you don't know enough to answer, then that's fine too. Say that.
Right? Yeah. I'm just trying to remember. I mean, I do remember touching it a long time ago, and it was one of those games where it just right off the bat just wasn't for me. Probably because of subs.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where you either absolutely love it or you never play it. I'm going to say, and this is going to, I think, maybe rock the boat a little bit. I'm going to say it's pay to play. I'm going to be with Domina here. And my reason's real simple. Even the RuneScape wiki says that the free-to-play aspect of RuneScape is about 20% of the game. To be fair, that 20% is a whole buttload of hours. I mean, we're talking tons and tons and tons and tons of time. So it's not like playing for free, you're going to cap everything in 3 days and then not have anything to do. And you have unlimited time. So by all means, there is a decent free-to-play component to it. But I don't necessarily personally consider it free-to-play. Even RuneScape's wiki says that the free-to-play only encapsulates about 20% of the game. Action shush. Action.
God bless you.
Action sh. Yes. AKSHANSH. Action shush.
That works.
Action shush. Says this ban botters in RuneScape for those who care. It's a good step, but yeah, there's a number of professional botters. But if they'll always be there, it does not mean not to try to eliminate them. 100% success is impossible, but I feel that whatever effect this ban botters thing will do will be positive. Even though it's not discouraging many bots, it also won't encourage more. It will at least have some effect. For those strange people who do not play for the sake of fun and just bot, I feel they have gone mad. What are you getting by botting? Finishing a large game in 1 month and then get bored. Time taken to earn EXP and money keeps the interest of players for a long time, but if you finish it in some days by botting, you get bored. So this ban botting thing will never have a negative effect. It will only have a positive effect, whether it's negligible or not. And I think that's a great point. I mean, we talked about, their new botting system, or their anti-botting system last week. And we thought, yeah, it's fun, it's cute, but it's not really going to do anything. And I think he or she's got a great point there, Domina, that, hey, it doesn't do anything negative.
No, that's right. It really doesn't. There's nothing negative about it. Do I think it's going to have a hugely positive effect? No, not really. But, I mean, any effect that it should have will be positive.
Very cool. I have one comment here I wanted to pull up here. Let me try and find it. late addition to the notes. This is from, you know, I'm not going to read their name. You can, if you care enough, you can search it on YouTube. Because this person came forward on the YouTube comments and said, I bought RuneScape, and I'm botting as I write this message. The only time I've gotten suspended was when I left my computer and botted for 7 days straight. The only thing I lost was the wood I'd been saving up to sell. I still have 99 wood cutting at level 5, so whatever Jagex is doing isn't working. And if I get banned, oh well, new account. I don't buy a membership, so meh. And I think that's dead on with what we thought it would be, that type of response, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Didn't we say?
It's
Botters
get in
will be
and get out.
botters?
Yeah, get in and get out.
I told him, I said, I appreciate your candor and weighing in on this topic. You're exactly whose feedback I would want.
Mhm.
You know, so I appreciate the candor there. Yeah, I'm not going to read your name, so protect the innocent, or in this case, the admittedly guilty.
That too.
All right. Keep your dub bombs, A-bombs, weekly bombs rolling in. Make sure you put them in the comments below. Come on over to mmobomb.com. Put them in there as well. Make sure while you're down there, you click like. Your question of the week, I'm changing it up on you guys. Damina had a better question than I had proposed, so we'll save mine for another week. Based on the absolute free-range customizable weapon in Loadout, we're going to give you the opportunity to create any weapon you want for a PvP-based game. What weapon are you making? What's it do? Put that in the comments below with your weekly bomb. Follow us over on the website. Let's throw it around for the final word. Celsius, you're up first.
As usual, I want to thank all the viewers. Without you guys, we wouldn't be doing this still. Magic Man, I want to thank you for having me on. Hopefully I can be on a little bit more. Can't wait to do a couple Ask MMOs. Guys, please keep the comments, likes, keep coming in. Make sure to subscribe, whether it's YouTube or iTunes. And thanks a lot, guys.
Damina.
I had fun again this week. 3 weeks in a row. Woohoo!
Now you get some time off, huh?
I do get some time off, but strangely enough, I think I'm going to miss this for a couple weeks.
Aww.
But anyway, it was a fantastic time as usual, and I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
All right, gang, for Damina and for Celsius, I'm Magic Man. You can follow me on Twitters at MagicMan1. That's MAGICKMANN1. You can hit me on the email at magicman@mmobomb.com, spelled the normal way, MAGICMAN at mmobomb.com. Like, comment, put your weekly bombs down below. Make sure you answer the question and give us some feedback on what you think the City of Heroes, if you're a player, where are you headed after City of Heroes closes. Until next week, gang, stay safe, and we'll see you out on the servers.